Once upon a time, nestled in a sunny meadow filled with buzzing bees and bright flowers, lived three cheerful little pigs who were about to embark on the biggest adventure of their young lives. Their dear old mother pig knew it was time for her clever little ones to build their own homes in the wide, wonderful world. With a loving hug and a whisper of encouragement, she sent them off, each with a heart full of dreams and a little song on their lips, ready to create their perfect cozy abodes. The very first little pig, a quick and playful fellow with a heart full of sunshine, couldn't wait to start his very own home. He spotted a big golden stack of soft straw, glimmering like captured sunlight, and thought it looked just right. "This will be perfect," he squealed with delight, imagining how cozy it would be. With just a few happy wiggles and some quick snorts of effort, he gathered the straw and cleverly wove it together. Soon, a charming little straw house stood proudly under the blue sky, looking rather like a fluffy golden haystack. He painted a tiny red door and added some bright, cheerful curtains made from daisy petals. "My house is ready," he declared, feeling very pleased with his speedy work, and promptly settled down for a nap in his soft, rustling home. He thought, why bother with anything tougher when this feels so nice? Not long after, along came a big, blustery wolf whose tummy rumbled with a playful, mischievous hunger. He strolled through the meadow, sniffing the sweet air, when he caught sight of the straw house. His eyes lit up with a twinkle of excitement. "A pig and a house of straw! This looks like fun," he chuckled to himself. He knocked on the little red door, but the first pig, who was just waking up, peeked through the daisy curtains and saw the big furry face. "Oh dear," he squeaked, a little nervous. The wolf, with a grin that showed off all his teeth, called out, little pig, let me come in." But the pig shook his head. "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin," he declared, trying to sound brave. The wolf just laughed, a deep, rumbling sound that made the straw house tremble a little. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in," he announced, taking a very, very deep breath. And with a mighty whoosh, he huffed and he puffed. The straw house, being made of light, breezy material, wobbled and then, with a playful sigh, tumbled down into a soft pile of golden strands. The first little pig, startled but unharmed, scampered as fast as his tiny legs could carry him, all the way to his brother's house, his heart going thump, thump, thump like a tiny drum. But what kind of house had his second brother built? The second little pig was a rather artistic sort, always humming a tune and looking for interesting textures. He found a forest filled with tall, straight sticks, perfect for building something modern and stylish. Straw is too flimsy, he thought wisely, but sticks are strong and beautiful. He spent his days carefully gathering the smooth, sturdy branches, arranging them just so, tying them together with vines, and even adding a little porch swing. His house of sticks stood tall and proud, smelling of fresh wood and forest adventures. He painted his door a cheerful forest green and added a little birdhouse on the roof. "This is a masterpiece," he declared, admiring his handiwork. He knew it was much better than a straw house and felt quite safe and clever. Suddenly, the first little pig burst through the forest, out of breath and quite excited. "Brother, brother, the big bad wolf blew my house down," he cried. Just as he finished speaking, the blustery wolf appeared again, his eyes twinkling, following the scent of two pigs this time. He knocked on the stick house door, a little harder this time. Little pigs, let me come in," he called out, his voice a low rumble. Both pigs, peeking through the gaps in the sticks, trembled a little. "Not by the hair of our chinny chin chins," they squealed together, hoping their little voices sounded strong. The wolf, feeling even more playful with two pigs inside, took an even deeper breath. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," he roared, a puff of wind rustling all the leaves in the forest. And with a mighty whoosh and a whump, he huffed and he puffed with all his might. The stick house, though sturdier than straw, began to creak and groan. Bits of bark flew and branches snapped, and then, with a protesting groan, it too tumbled down into a pile of kindling. The two little pigs, startled but completely safe, didn't waste a second. They scampered away, oinking with urgency, their tiny legs a blur, all the way to their wise brother's house, hoping he had built something much, much stronger. The third little pig was known for his calm patience and his thoughtful nature. He knew that building a truly wonderful home took time, effort, and the very best materials. He decided to build his house out of strong, sturdy bricks, each one carefully chosen and laid with precision. Day after day, he worked tirelessly, mixing mortar, placing bricks, and humming a happy tune as his solid little home grew taller and stronger. Other creatures in the forest would watch him, some wondering why he worked so hard when straw and sticks were much quicker. But the third pig just smiled, knowing his efforts would be worth it. He painted his door a comforting shade of blue and planted a small, cheerful garden around it. His house of bricks stood firm and proud, a true testament to his hard work and careful planning. Soon enough, the two breathless little pigs arrived at their brother's door, huffing and puffing themselves. "Brother, brother, the wolf blew down our houses!" they cried, tumbling inside. Just as the third pig closed his strong blue door, the blustery wolf arrived, looking a little confused. He'd never had such trouble before. He saw the sturdy brick house and knew this would be a real challenge. With a hopeful grin, he knocked on the solid brick door. Little pigs, let me come in," he called, his voice booming. But the three pigs, feeling very safe and cozy inside, bravely shouted back, "Not by the hair of our chinny chins." Now the wolf was truly surprised. He puffed out his chest and took the deepest breath he had ever taken in his life. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," he declared, ready to try his very best. He huffed and he puffed. He huffed and he puffed even harder. The strong brick house didn't even wobble. He huffed and he puffed until his cheeks were red and his lungs were tired, but the house stood firm, as steady as a mountain. The three little pigs inside giggled, feeling delighted by their brother's cleverness. The wolf, quite out of breath and very frustrated, sat down with a sigh. What could he possibly do now? The clever wolf, not one to give up easily, paced around the brick house, trying to think of a new trick. He looked up and saw a tall, wide chimney. "Aha," he thought, a mischievous sparkle in his eye. "If I can't blow it down, I'll sneak in through the top." He quietly climbed onto the roof, planning to slide right down the chimney and surprise the little pigs. He thought he was being so clever, imagining the look on their faces. But the third little pig, always one step ahead, had seen him peeking. He knew exactly what the wolf was planning, and he had a brilliant idea brewing. Inside, the third little pig quickly put a big, bubbling pot of water on the fire, a wonderful smell of stew beginning to fill the room.
Just as the wolf started to slide down the chimney, thinking he was so smart, he found himself dropping right into the warm, bubbly water. "Youch!" cried the wolf, a comical splutter echoing from the chimney.
He scrambled back up faster than he had come down, his tail singed and his pride a little bruised, but otherwise quite unharmed. He definitely wasn't hungry for pork stew anymore, that was for sure. He tumbled off the roof and disappeared into the forest as fast as his paws could carry him, vowing never to bother these clever little pigs again. The three little pigs cheered with joy. They had outsmarted the blustery wolf and were safe and sound in their strong, cozy brick home. From that day on, the first two pigs understood the importance of patience and hard work. They helped their wise brother build two more sturdy brick houses side by side, making a happy little street of three strong, beautiful homes. They lived happily ever after, always remembering that taking your time and building things right can keep you safe and sound, even from the biggest, huffiest, puffiest wolf. What a wonderful lesson they learned, didn't they? It just goes to show a little bit of effort and careful thought can make all the difference in the world.